what kind of books I read. Hi, bookworms and constant readers. Welcome to my channel, Elvis Loves Books. I am Elvis. This is my very first episode, the welcome video. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, what the channel is going to be about, what kind of books I read, and what to expect on this channel. So, my name is Elvis. I am a full-time student. I major in geography, minor in meteorology, climatology. After this current semester, I have one more semester and I finally graduate with a bachelor's degree. But it's not over because then I go straight into graduate studies for my master's. So, why start a YouTube channel? Since the quarantine, I really got into watching YouTube videos, and that's when I discovered BookTube, and I fell in love with it. I thought, this is really cool. A lot of people who like books just like I do, they're on here talking about books. I could do that. So I needed to buy a video camera, a mic, most of the equipment that you need to start a channel for my senior project that's coming up next semester. And so here we are. The other thing is I always run into a lot of people who they always say, "Oh, I don't read. I don't like books." And to me, that's insane. I could not imagine not reading. The only time in my life that I went without reading was when I went off to basic training. That was 9 weeks. And when we first got there, we were taken to the commissary to buy all the stuff that we would need for the next 9 weeks: shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrushes, stuff like that. And I got all that, but I also got a book. And when the drill instructors seen it, they went crazy. And so it was promptly donated to the base library. I was not allowed to keep it. And one of the first things I did when I left basic training was went to a bookstore and got a book. And I'd have to look, because I still have the book, but I wrote in it first book in 9 weeks. And it was a paperback, and I want to say it was either Stephen King's It, or it was the complete and uncut version of Stephen King's The Stand. And so if I can get people to read stuff that's out of their comfort zone, maybe something that they wouldn't normally read, or just start reading in general, that's a good thing. So that leads me into, what do I read? Well, I read a little bit of everything. I think the only thing I've never read is romance novels. But the three main genres that I personally stick to is horror. Like I said, I already mentioned Stephen King. He's my favorite author. I also read science fiction and fantasy. I just recently got back into fantasy. I haven't read it in quite a long time. But I read fiction. I read nonfiction. True events, historical fiction. Just pretty much anything. And that's what I want this channel to be, just all about books. One thing I do love are book series. I think some of the fantasy series tend to be a little too long. I mean, goddamn fantasy writers are long-winded. I mean, it is insane how long some of them series are. I think a really good series is like 3 to 5 books. If you can get your story told in 3 to 5 books, that's doing really good. Especially when you look at like the fantasy genre and how thick some of those books are. You're talking about 800 plus page books, and there's always like 10 or more to tell one story. And I read those, but they tend to get a little long-winded, and I always feel like they could be, cut back. But I also like one-off books, and there will be those on the channel. So what is the channel going to be about? Well, obviously Elvis Loves Books. It's all about books. I plan on just sitting down and talking to you about what I've read, what I am, what I'm reading, books that I bought. When I do talk about a book, it's more like, it's not really a review, because I don't like analyze or pick a book apart. I just like to talk about books like we were in a coffee shop having coffee, maybe a bar having some drinks, just hanging out. I'll tell you, what the book is about, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. Some things you need to mention in certain genres, like fantasy. A lot of fantasy fans are really big on magic systems and world building, and so I'll talk about that. All of my reviews are going to be spoiler free. If I feel the need to talk about spoilers, I will leave that for the end of the video and give warning, so you can, click the like button, that subscribe button, hit the bell, and get out. And while we're on that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you know when my next video is coming out. I plan on doing 1 to 2 videos a week to start. As I build subscribers, I'll possibly do more. So that's pretty much what the channel is about. I don't do a lot of editing on my videos. I want it to be more raw and like we were face to face just talking. I don't plan out a script. For certain books that are really long, especially the fantasy books, I'll probably have notes that I do follow, because some of those are 1,000 plus pages, and I'm not going to remember every little thing I want to talk about unless I write it down as I'm reading. But yeah, what to expect coming up for the channel. So it's almost the end of September. I'm going to do a September book haul and talk about the books that I've bought this month. It's way more than average because I came into a little bit of extra money, and of course I spend my money on books. And it's going to be, I think, like 1 book a month. I think I got like 30 new books this month. As far as what to expect in the near future, the first series that I will review is the Witcher series, which I can talk about the books that I'm currently reading. So I got The Last Witch by Andrzej Sapkowski. I'm almost halfway through, well, a little over halfway through with it. That'll be the first book that I review. And I'm going to review that whole series first. And that'll be kind of the norm with the channel. If I start a series, That's what you can pretty much expect until it's finished. Some of the longer series I will put in books kind of in between, just to, if it's just not your thing, you'll still have something to watch. The other book I'm reading right now is Black House by Peter Straub and Stephen King. This is the sequel to their book, The Talisman. I do plan on doing a read-through of Stephen King in publication order. I'm in the middle of doing mine right now, and I'll talk about that in a Stephen King video that I've got coming up. I won't go into it too much here. But I'll go through and review every one of Stephen King's books. Let's see, some other series that are coming up are, I want to do Malazan. That's a really big one. I want to do, there's quite a few fantasy series. Some Brian Weeks series, some John Gwynne. I want to do The Wheel of Time. Some non-fantasy stuff would be, I plan on doing the Bob Lee Swagger series, Lee Child's Jack Reacher series, the James Bond books, the Dresden Files. So I have a lot coming up. I have a huge TBR list. It would probably take me 10 years right now to get through it. I have that many books on my TBR list. A lot of the books you see behind me are on it. I just added this bookshelf here, so most of the books on this shelf, except for the Harry Potter, The Walking Dead, they are all to be read, and they'll be on the channel also. So I hope you like this video. I hope it piques your interest to watch more of my videos. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when the next video is coming out. It probably won't be out until sometime, I want to say next week. I would like to get The Last Wish done over the weekend, post that video, because I think the end of the month is like right in the middle of the week, which is kind of weird. But I'm going to do that book haul video. That'll probably be a long one because, like I said, it's going to be like 30 books. So I hope you like this video. I hope you stick around, like the channel. Leave comments below on books that you'd recommend. If you want to talk about the books that I'm reading, talk about those. And I'll see you on the next video. Until then, read more books.